Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
The Adventures of Batman.
Welcoming you to the new adventures of Batman.
Welcome to Batmanimation. Did I get it right, Ryan Lauer?
Nailed it.
Senior. I got that, but I can't say the word senior.
Yeah, exactly. You got Batmanimation, but
yeah. Batmanimation, a Batman on Film podcast. This is episode number 6. I am the founder of Batman on Film, Bill Jet Ramey. I will not be telling the story today of how I started Batman on Film on a web TV in 1998. So that makes
that's
everybody
a social hour exclusive.
Yes, that should make everyone listening happy. That I will not be telling that story, Ryan. Ryan, how are you?
I'm great. As of this recording, it is a Friday. There's a new energy in the air, in the crisp autumn air here in Indiana today. It's Friday. We can do this, and I have a very exciting and enjoyable day of work ahead of me, and that is not sarcasm. So Friday is good. It's a good day.
Okay. Sounds good. Good. I have not hosted a Batmanimation podcast.
This is the perfect.
And so the way it works, usually one of the Batman on Film guys, whoever picks the episode gets the host. Is that the rule?
I mean, pretty much.
Okay. So this was my pick. We're going to venture into what is an episode that is actually part of an episode from one of my personal favorite animated Batman series, Batman the Brave and the Bold. I know people go, how in the hell is that your favorite animated series when you like serious, dark and serious, grounded Batman without aliens and crazy superpower stuff? And I can tell you why. Number one, I think the Batman the Brave and the Bold is a love letter to Batman and Batman history. Is probably why I appreciate it the most. Also, Ryan, there is a difference between animation and live action film.
No way.
What works in comics and animation might not always work in a live action film that's supposed to be taken serious. So that is my answer to that.
Okay.
I would say your favorite animated series is BTAS, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm often asked, why do you not like Batman the Animated Series? And I say, no, I love Batman the Animated Series. But
you respond, how dare you? I did not say that.
When Batman the Animated Series came out in 1992, my Batman fandom was firmly established. So it did not have a major impact on me as a Batman fan. It was like, yeah, this is good. This is Batman. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't have the impact on me like the 60s TV series did. And I think for people, I would say for people of your generation, your vintage, that's probably what BTAS probably had that kind of impact on you all, right?
Absolutely. Those are very impressionable years for my generation. Like I say, I was very impressionable at my age when I started to actually get to look at Batman comics. And who was the artist on Batman comics at the time? Norm Brayfogle. So he's going to have an impression on me because that's the version of Batman that I'm seeing a lot. So yeah, definitely for a lot of people around my age. And I mean, of course, there could be people a lot older than me, people who were born much later and then introduced to it and everything. But yeah, definitely when you're seeing that Batman, that dark Batman, of course you can end up being like, that's my preference for Batman. Not this light, bright, silly stuff like Brave and the Bold. Clearly, that's not Batman.
Thank you for that segue. Speaking of the Brave and the Bold, before we start, get into this episode, and we're going to knock this out in 30 some odd minutes, so we'll get rolling here shortly. What is your overall take as a fan? What did you think when it came out? And when we started hearing about it, and we get, there were promos and whatnot. I'll be honest, I was like, this ain't gonna be for me. Boy, was I wrong.
Many people remember the promoting of this series. It launched in 2008. I think November 2008.
Probably,
page right here. The complete opposite, it seemed, of the Dark Knight that we were just experiencing at the time. Yes, November 2008. And I actually remember Batman on Film because, yes, even back then I was an avid reader of Batman on Film. You'd posted something about it, and I think even it was like, and for me, I was like, that does not look like my thing. And I remember even actually being at home I was with my mom, and I don't know where something about it popped up on TV even. She's like, yeah, did you see that there's going to be a new Batman show? And I was like, yeah, it doesn't look good. I just left it at that.
Yeah.
I have not seen every episode of the series. There's something comforting there of knowing that I have this Batman media waiting for me whenever I'm ready. But it's similar to me of almost like the 66 series. It's a show that I can watch, but I can't binge. And that's how I feel with Brave and the Bold. And I have nothing like negative to say about it. I just know I can't just sit and just watch so many episodes in a row. Then I will get tired of almost like the formula, if you will. But when I do sit down and when I do watch it, like I really, really enjoy it. And then one of the best things that they've done, I've watched a lot of episodes for sure. One of the best things that they've done is the Batman Brave and the Bold and Scooby-Doo movie.
I was just about to ask you. I know you do like
love that movie, which is really funny because it's like that's Batman Brave and the Bold world. So I mean, when I watch the show, when I watch episodes, there are certain ones I go to constantly over and over. But the whole series as a whole, the time is coming where I'll watch it all.
Gotcha. All right. We're going to talk about episode 25 from season 1. Mayhem. The Music Meister. You like that?
So, not even, yes. It's sad that you're not going to put a video version of this up, so people can see you.
I did a semi jig along with that, right?
Yes, and just 4 minutes ago, even you mentioned about people being surprised how much you love Batman the Brave and the Bold, and it, much like on the social hour, Batman social hour recently. We had a discussion with Lieber Mayo, and I brought up the fact of Batman Zero-N-R, and it blows my mind that that's something that Bill Jet Ramey likes.
Yeah.
Brave and the Bold, it doesn't surprise me that you like it. It surprises me. I mean, it's not a recent take. You've been long saying on the website and in the Facebook group that that's your favorite animated Batman series. And I think it surprises me. You got me again, Bill. Surprises me that you love this episode. This does not seem like Bill Jet Ramey's like A+ material.
It's just, look, I appreciate brilliance and creativity, right?
Sure. Yeah, me too.
And I think this episode, there's a lot of it. I mean, just think about this. Let's make an episode and it's everyone sings. The whole thing, 90% of it is song. And dance for that matter.
Yeah.
And it works, right?
It does.
Okay. So this was season 1 again, episode 25. It premiered on June 24th of 2009. It was directed by Ben Jones. Writing credits go to Michael Jelenic. Dietrich Bader is Batman. D. Bradley Baker is the Clock King. Let's see, Gray Griffin, friend of the show, actually, right?
Yeah.
Is
Peter Vera.
Black, Black Canary. Joe DiMaggio is Aquaman and Gorilla Grodd. Tom Kenny,
The star of the
SpongeBob
series.
SquarePants. Yes.
The star of Batman Brave and the Bold, John DiMaggio on Aquaman.
Yes. Absolutely. He did a what do you call those? A drop, not a drop, but like a little promo for Batman on Film and Aquaman voice.
He
Did you
did.
see that? Yes.
Yeah.
What else am I missing? Oh, Tom Kenny again. SpongeBob SquarePants is the voice of Babyface. Kevin Michael Richardson is Black Manta, who also he is the voice of Joker in the Batman.
Yep. He's a Hall of Famer in
Yes.
animation.
James Arnold Taylor is Green Arrow, and the great Doogie Howser, MD.
That's
Neil
right.
Patrick Harris himself is the Music Meister. Jeff Bennett is actually the singing voice of Batman.
Which
And
you
he's
almost
also
didn't have
the
it.
voice. Yes, he is the voice of the Joker in Batman, the Brave and the Bold as well.
Oh, nice. Okay. Did not know that. There you go. The more you know.
Am I missing anything credit-wise?
I don't think so. A familiar voice or name that we know who I believe. Yeah, Pete has talked to James Tucker. I did see in the credits of this episode that I think he and Michael Jelenic were responsible for the lyrics. So there's a little name, but he's a fan of Batman on Film.
He is. He's a friend of the website. I'd love to get him on, talk about this series someday. And he was producer of this here animated series. So basically, the premise is, here's the synopsis. Batman finds himself going up against his own allies when the Music Meister hijacks a United Nations communication satellite and uses it to control the world via his song. Only one thing can stop him: Black Canary's even more powerful voice. So the whole thing is a musical. There are 3 major musical productions here, I think. Yeah. You've got, of course,
I'm thinking.
Starts off with he's the Music Meister. The Music Meister. I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head all day. So what was you watched this for the first time, right?
I finished this 20 minutes before we started recording for the first time.
Lay it on me.
Not my thing.
Yes.
But I applied the creativity, and there aren't nits to pick. You can just full out recognize sometimes some things that you're like, I know that's good, it's just not my thing. However, I'm not that what do I want to say, against rewatching it. It's just I don't think this will be one that I go to very often to revisit, and that's just because of the musical genre in the end.
Yeah,
which is really funny because I think I come across optimistic and happy. Hey, what's the genre for happiness? Musicals, because people are running around just singing and la 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 la. And that's not my genre. There are some that, of course, Nightmare Before Christmas, I love, Wizard of Oz, and a lot of Disney animation, but outside of that, musical is not my thing. So I think that's why I've put off on this episode like all these years too, because I'm like that. I'm kind of scared that I'm not gonna have a good time with. I don't want to watch it, but it was fun, for sure. I had the closed captioning on because that is something with my hearing I'm not good at. It's like the music outdoes the lyrics to where I can't fully understand what's being said, but of course I feel like the beat and the music and stuff like that. So I had the closed captioning on, and I think that like the lyrics are good. It does tell the story. Like that's what I mean. Like storytelling wise, it is. I think it is like good, and there's no weak link in it. Period. And then I mean, you posted it. I don't know if you did it from your Twitter account or Batmanimation the other day, but you made a video. I mean, cut it years ago. It's got some good numbers too. The Death Trap
Yes.
clip.
Yeah.
And so that one was the highlight for me. I thought that one was a lot of fun. It was
That one.
It was
I
the
was gonna
shortest.
ask you. Yeah.
But also, I think music wise, that was the most like flat out like, enjoyable music to me of the whole thing too. The other music kind of felt a little like standard old musical set pieces kind of
Yeah.
music, which maybe that was their intention, and maybe that's why a lot of people like it. And I'm like, ah. But I like Death Trap, I think was visually interesting, and the music itself was fun.
Death Trap is really pretty good. Pretty cool. Kind of a nod also to the 60s TV series, right?
Yes, I thought that as well.
Yeah. I just thought the lyrics are pretty, they're funny, but not funny where you're laughing at it, that it's absurd. It's just
Clever.
It's clever. Yes.
Yeah.
The whole Death Trap, I really like that segment.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like, now I'm gonna go back to the musical segments in a second, but also I enjoyed the Music Meister's outfits changing. He was in like a 70s Elvis type concert.
Of course, there you go.
One time, he was like a punk rocker at one time.
Punk rocker when it was the Death Trap, to fit
Yeah.
that because it's rock music, so he's evil.
Yeah.
He's really got the spiked hair, but then in one like slick move, he puts his hand back,
Yeah.
and it all just goes back into place, which I enjoyed.
I mean, the plot overall is it's silly.
Mm-hmm.
He's up to no, his superpower is he can control people, and turn on
Through song.
And he's going to hijack this satellite so he can control everyone in the world and turn them all evil, and they're all they're dancing while they're robbing banks or whatever, whatever dastardly deeds they're up to.
I had audible giggles definitely there toward the beginning when, so it was a Green Arrow, Aquaman, and Black Canary joined Clock King, Gorilla Grodd, and who was the other villain? Black Manta in a line like the Rockettes, and they were like in the background, like as the Rockettes, just still like the Music Meister and Batman are in the foreground. The focus is on them, but you still have the other six in the back, still doing the little Rockettes, just slowly. Like, that kind of stuff makes me laugh. Yeah. So that got a good giggle out of me.
Did you enjoy the? I would say this is of course the first and fourth segments or musical pieces are. He's the Music Meister, and both tell different stories. The first one is kind of like he's talking about like his origin story, kind of, in a way, and why he does what he does. And the end is, the last one kind of picks up like that part of the story. Batman, I think, has several funny one-liners.
Clever throughout. Also of your something orchestrations. Bravo. Yes. I don't know what the adjective was of the something lyrics, but it was, it was an alliteration, which of course I know that's standard for this series, but all of them pertain to music, which you kind of think too. So this is the 25th episode of the first season, and that's not new to the show. Of Batman uses a lot of alliterations and stuff, but you'd think like, wow, they're still coming up with fresh new ones. This is the 25th time they're doing this, and they're doing it over and over. Not too much that it was annoying, but they're dropping new ones, and and that's the applause I give for like an episode like this. That of course it's not not my favorite thing, but it's not for lack of effort and creativity and wit and everything, because it's full of that. I think every second.
Like the 60s TV series,
Mm-hmm.
Batman has a gadget for everything.
Of course.
So he gives the heroes bat earplugs that will
Mm-hmm.
prevent them from being fall under the hypnotic spell of the music meister. It was pretty funny.
I did pause and look
Mhm.
the brief moment taking us inside of Arkham Asylum, and
Yes.
it was just I mean, in which the first shot inside, I don't know who was next to him, but it was King Tut,
Yes.
and then I think
Did you catch
Calendar Man
Egghead?
popped in. I didn't see Egghead. Which one was he?
I believe it was Egghead. Maybe I'm mistaken. And they
I
had
believe
all
you.
the like the square, that was like almost like
Oh
Brady Bunch
yeah,
type thing.
I did pause that, and I was looking. I spotted Scarecrow. I don't know if Scarecrow does he ever make an appearance, even as like a cold open in this show.
That you're gonna have me on because I'm gonna have to go back and watch. I
Okay.
don't recall offhand the Scarecrow because they're usually pulling. A lot of times it's unless it's like Joker. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
non-Batman villains,
Okay. Yeah.
showing up, like Black
Um,
Manta and stuff like that.
and I mean, after the first shot inside a cell, and then it's the hallway, and you're seeing them as they're popping open, and I think that had Scarecrow popped open in one, Two Face, I think
Mm-hmm.
Penguin or Joker. So yeah, that, and I mean, I know it was brief. This is a small part, but of course, that's a pause it. Let's spot them. Let's name them. Of the
Yeah.
villains that make a nice little appearance, because that's the fun part, that they can do, insert anybody that they want there, and they don't have to have them say anything, so they can just draw whatever they want and like throw it in there. And I liked that.
Song two is comes about when the music meister or the Batman kind of thwarts the original thing. He gives the heroes the bat earplugs, and like music meister's like curses. Batman always driving
Curses.
villains bats, and then it
Yeah.
leads into drives his bat song. Did you like the drives his bat song?
Yeah, it was fun. um I'm trying to think of what all the folk. I know I just watched it, but it's like I don't have any standout like lines or moments on that. Whereas Death Trap in my head, I
Yeah.
can see it. I can see it all the way through. But on that one, it's, yeah, I don't know. What is it about? Let's see. I know I had some questions for you pertaining to this
Yeah.
specifically. Were your admiration for the episode, was that from the very first time you saw it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Okay.
remember they kind of made a big deal promoting this
Oh, okay.
leading up to it because I was covering. I they're not on the. They didn't make the migration to the new site back in 2018, but I still have them from the old site. But I think I reviewed every freaking episode that came out, and was getting like promo material leading up to each episode, um, promo stills and video clips, and I had that on Batman on Film, and they really made a big push. This they're doing a whole episode that's a musical,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of really hyped it up more than they did, a little bit more than the other episodes. So it was like a lot of anticipation, and it
Mm-hmm.
didn't disappoint. I like drives its bats to me is like I like it a lot because now I do love like Death Trap. I'm with you. Death Trap's my favorite number, but drives its bats is like kind of it just like goes through Batman history in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Talks about, it has a boy wonder. I mean, it just has all these the Batmobile, all but it's gadgets and everything. So I thought it was a cool little song about Batman, even
Mm-hmm.
though it's a curses
Yeah.
that Batman, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be. Um, the third song Black Canary has the hots for Batman and sings a song. You know,
Is this something in the series? Does Black Canary have a hots for Batman?
yes,
She
and
does.
then
Okay.
yeah, I think it kind of turns back to like the comic book Green Arrow Black Canary relationship at the end of this one, right? You know,
Oh, I don't know. I laughed a little bit just
yeah,
because I found the humor in as it's their love song in the musical together and
yeah,
spinning around and she's singing he and he's singing she. But I thought it was funny because it was he's singing about her and she's singing about Batman. I thought that she was still all about Batman with it, which I found it funny because then it
yeah,
is like in Green Arrow's case of like, oh yeah, he's the fool. Uh
yeah.
Going after the girls like, dude, she's not talking about you. She's talking about another guy. And so maybe I'm reading that wrong, but that made me laugh.
Batman, well, you know, there is a funny line that at the end when the heroes win, she says, let you know, she asked him out on a date, basically. Let's go have dinner. And he's like, crime doesn't take a dinner break. Neither do I.
Yeah.
You know.
Neither do I.
So that
Diedrich Bader, that guy, in which when I mean he's been responsive on Twitter. I mean, it's just like with any celebrity, like they're busy. They can't answer
yeah.
every single person. But I can't tell you how many times I've seen as a response to some stuff. And actually, me a few years ago, I tweeted something at him at the right time, and he will always say that like this is the best job he's ever had, voicing in this show. And the guy is, I mean, he's funny. Period. You check out other stuff that he's been in. He's a really funny guy, but man, he nailed this interpretation, and also I mean, you could just say nailed it as a Batman voice, period. Not just this interpretation, because also Harley Quinn. He does a really good job. The episodes he
Yeah.
pops up in that
If
show.
you take, I think, like for Brave and the Bold, if you like, it's a great mix of like Conroy and Adam West, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
with maybe
Perfect.
a dash of Keaton thrown in.
Yeah.
Just he doesn't really growl. It's more of a whisper than what Kevin Conroy does,
Mm-hmm.
you know. It's more of a whisper, but it's very deadpan as well. Um, Great timing, like Adam West.
Mm-hmm.
Not really the cadence of Adam West, but I think you get what I'm,
Yeah. I think
you know.
I think your blending of it's a blend of Conroy and West is spot on because it does have the lightheartedness of like West, but still taking itself seriously like Conroy. So I did wonder up until the end too. I was
Yeah.
like, I wonder if Batman is me in this episode and everybody's singing except him. And then he did use it at the very end, but he was
Yes.
like, ha ha ha,
Yeah. Um, and what was great is that yes, and that's how he's thinking. He's not singing just to sing.
No,
He is singing
classic Batman.
to make sure that Black Canary's mocking him or not mocking him, but kind of. She's following him. You know, there's like this back and forth of how high can you go with these notes, and then she busts out in the Black Canary scream, and
The canary cry.
takes down the music Meister, and
Does Music Meister ever show up again?
I believe he does.
Okay.
He did show up in the comics. I had not
After
read
this,
them
or
after, and yes, I
so
have.
this is the debut of this character.
Yes.
Okay.
A couple things I laughed at, I wrote down, I thought chuckled at. It was the part when the satellite goes active and they show shots around the world of people, committing crimes, dancing, singing, and Antarctica is upside down. Yeah.
Is that West Side Story? The snap.
Yeah. Yeah. And
everybody's doing the snap in this episode.
Antarctica, the guy's dancing and he's in snow and he's upside down because it's like the South Pole.
Yeah.
And Batman calls the music meister, you corrupt conductor.
Yeah, you corrupt conductor. You son of a bitch.
You
corrupt
son of a
conductor.
bitch. What the hell is going
What the
on
hell's
here?
they had that action. Like, I don't think we can put this on Cartoon Network. Let's just call him a corrupt conductor instead. All right, that works.
So it ends with basically Batman out thinks the music meister and turns his power on its head and with Black Canary and taking down the satellite. Like I said, he uses, of course, he also uses the Bat auto tuning amplifier to help him hit those high notes.
Of course, it's about time he gets to use that thing.
Yep. It was, and also, okay, I don't want to get a tangent. We're going to wrap this up, but when drives his bats, he even alludes to in the lyrics about the shark repellent. Bat shark repellent.
Oh, I missed that
in the lyrics. So that was, that's again, that's like Batman history. Batman, song about Batman. It's cool. Black Canary, of course, asked Batman on a date, and as I said, crime doesn't take a dinner break. Crime doesn't take dinner breaks. Neither do I.
Batman.
And
there's always time for a dinner break.
And she sings her love song about Batman again, and then Green Arrow joins in, and there, he's like making his pitch, and then boom, it ends with that's the end of the episode. So
a clever addition, and I imagine this was the commercial breaks, was the opening of the curtain and closing of the curtain, between each big performance, which if you've been to a show in a theater, that's how it works. Opening and closing of the curtain between songs and sets and stuff like that. And also up to this point, so maybe I just skipped this episode because I do own, or no, I haven't, never mind, because they released the DVDs in volumes. I think there was 5 volumes to cover 3 seasons. So it was volume 1 was the first half of the first season, volume 2 and blah 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 on DVD. And I have them all, but I definitely watched the first volume, and then it was hit and miss. Was this the first time that they didn't have a big, like a villain team up cold open?
I was just going to mention that. You brought the idea about the curtains, because it starts out with just curtains open and Music Meister, and he shuts and he goes down, and then
it goes to open.
Yeah, they open. I think it may be the only episode that I recall that doesn't have that, the cold opening with the kind of, story within itself.
Yeah.
With, characters that may not be in the main episode. So yeah, it was just...
And I always applaud when creators do that and they don't hold the audience's hand and try to speak like completely direct. And it's like, you understand what we're doing here without us having to say it. So for it opens and you just see with the curtains, like I said, and then Music Meister comes out, and I think he might smile or something like that. And then it goes into the song. Then you can, as you watch, be like, oh, okay, we're going right into this. Like you don't need them to say, hey, we're not going to have they're not Mr. Freeze. That's my default voice. Hey, we're not going to have a cold open this week. I gotta go find my diamonds. Yeah, it just happens by accident anymore. Like,
yeah. I'll be stealing diamonds this week, so we can have the cold opening.
Yeah, but hey, what's going on here? Shit, what was I gonna say? Prior, so I know I just keep going. It's like I keep going to like the first before this, but I can't think of, at least of like a major production of some sort of there being a Batman musical. Definitely, obviously not live action. I don't think there was a musical episode in the 60 series, unless Super Friends did it at some point. I don't know. I don't see musical Batman in anything prior to this. Again, that of like a major, a major form of media, not like a little show that was done in a neighborhood or something like that.
Yeah. So
don't
your
know,
favorite
sense.
song? Okay, let's just wrap it up. So
Okay. Yeah.
favorite song, the favorite musical piece is the Death Trap scene for
Yeah.
you.
Yep. It's Death Trap for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Any other thoughts, just overall? Would you? Well, okay, you were leery of going in. I don't know if leery is the word,
Yeah.
but maybe leery going, not my thing. So what's your final? I think this, to me, that it's an episode I enjoy watching again and going back to every so often, because I think there are a lot of little things that are like little cool Batman things in it. Like like in Death Trap, there's like just, and really more not really Batman, but DC, but they had all kind of, like Metal Men and, Doom Patrol plastered on the walls behind them, and the scene with like the Arkham stuff, the villains, during the Drives Us Bats numbers. So I like going back to it.
Yeah.
It's probably my go. That one is, this may be my go-to if I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch an episode of Brave and the Bold today, and I'll throw that one in.
Announcer Rachel walks in and you're doing the Rockets number there in the living room.
Oh
while
yeah,
the
I'm
song's
going.
playing.
I'm sitting there going, gears grinding,
Yeah.
ropes binding, coils winding for a super sap, death trap.
Death Trap.
Yeah.
I do like the definitely emphasizing Death Trap, and she gets to. I think the episode is definitely fun. It is clever. It's witty. I will pick up on things whenever I revisit this again, and the time right after that. Like I gotta look for Egghead now. Musicals are just not what I run to, but that's a me thing. That's not a Batman the Brave and the Bold thing. I think it delivered in what many people have been promising and saying since it debuted all those years ago. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It's definitely a standout in Batman animation, as well as like Batman in general as a form of media of, oh, here's a concept and an idea that did a really good job.
Yeah. I did like, speaking of Death Trap, and we'll plug and get out of here. But Death Trap, Black Canary singing during the number as well. The acid steam and blades gleaming, lasers beaming, final nightcap, Death Trap. And at the end, Batman, if she's not under the spell of the music Meister, but she is still singing. And Batman goes, was singing really necessary?
Oh my God. Yes. I can't believe I didn't mention that. Cause
Yeah.
again, Batman, he channels me. Like, like that part too. I think sometimes like in movies or something, a lot of times that's my response. Was singing necessary?
Yeah.
Was it? No, it wasn't. But in here, it's funny. Obviously it's meant for humor's sake.
So will you watch it again at some point?
Yes, I will. You've helped me. We're at the beginning of this. I think I was even feeling like I don't know the next time I still don't know the next time I'll revisit it.
Yeah.
But pending my mood when I get to that binge of the series, I'm going to make myself go through because I am ashamed that I haven't watched every episode yet. I'll give this one another viewing.
Sounds good. Like I said, this is kind of my go-to if I'm want to watch. Sometimes I just will like YouTube like Death Trap or Drives Us Bats just to watch the musical number, Especially I usually do Death Trap because I really like that one. So with that, if you have not checked out this episode of Batman the Brave and the Bold, of course, I highly recommend it. If you haven't, what would you say to folks that are kind of like, would be like in your boat, like, this may not be my thing,
When you're in that mode, you have to definitely be you have to view responsibly, because if you force yourself to watch something when you're not in the mood, you could really end up having an unfair criticism of that episode or movie or whatever. So definitely when you're in a little bit more like this, I waited until right before we recorded to watch it for the first time because I knew I had like, hey, gotta watch it because we're gonna talk about it. and I let the anticipation build for it. I wasn't dreading it at any point. So definitely when you're in a little bit more, maybe it's a morning lighthearted view to start your day too. Go to HBO Max. It's 21 minutes. There you go.
Yes, it is.
Just try it. Just try it.
Well,
You won't hate it.
Continue on with plugs, please.
Oh, plugs. Batman-On-Film.com. I have a review for Batman Beyond the White Knight #5 by Sean Gordon Murphy. Check the BOF podcast feed for the last actual podcast episode was interviewing Sean Murphy. Batman Social Hour.
That was a good
chapters.
issue, actually. I enjoyed that.
That was great.
Yeah.
I don't know how Sean Murphy has done what he's done with this White Knight universe, but I feel like he can do no wrong. I love everything that, and not just because I've gotten to talk to him on BOF. Like I don't know what he's done with that universe. He can do no wrong to me. I think he's just kicking ass with all of his.
I like
everything he's done.
Freaky Friday thing.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of ballsy. It was kind of crazy, and it was funny. And I think everything about it worked. Check out the social hours where Bill and I are doing chapter by chapter of the Batman, as well as recently we got to sit down and talk to your friend Bill Liebermayo.
Yeah,
my favorite Batman artist. And then also
I'd say by now you can say Liebermayo is your friend as well, right?
I would never, Bill. That is your friend. The way that I've gotten to talk to him is because of you. So he is your friend, and I just get to tag along at times. I also don't want him to feel like I'm a stalker. This weirdo kid called me his friend. I am not his friend, Bill. Fire his ass.
Well, he could. Hey, you don't want him going, you son of a bitch.
Ryan, you son of a bitch. And lastly, a new episode of the Batman Book Club, my podcast, just dropped with Mr. Boudin Pockets himself, Peter Vera. We did a monthly wrap-up of new Batman comics in September. Bill's always kind and posts those on Batman on Film as well. And check it out wherever you listen to your podcasts.
All right. You announce Rachel will cover everything, or you can just go to Batman on Film. It's all there.
You go.
That's all there. It's all I got. So for Ryan, I'm Bill. Thanks for listening to this episode of Batmanimation. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to Batmanimation, a Batman-On-Film.com podcast revisiting the animated TV and film adventures of the Caped Crusader. Follow Batmanimation on Twitter @Batmanimation. Follow BOF on Twitter @The Batman on Film. Follow Jet on Twitter @Batman on Film. For Jet and Team BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Batman on Film, authoritative, definitive, the original. Established in 1998.